right, we are on the record. It is November 11th, 2020, was the second day of the hearing involving Teresa Campbell in the UW School of Medicine and Public Health. I have certain things to put on the record before we actually get started. And first thing is that in reviewing my exhibits, the exhibit list that I had and putting it together from yesterday's testimony, I realized that after our first break, we skipped complainants exhibit 1C, and there aren't many of them, but it's the 3-month performance review. And there are the 3 documents, which are complainants exhibit pages 60 to 61, 62 to 63, and 64. So I want to, let's see, I want to share I want to share Adobe Acrobat. However, oh, it looks like maybe. I've got, let's see. Let's see if that works. That actually is not working for well, I know you all have you have the documents. I'm not certain why this is not pulling up the list of the exhibits. But Ms. Campbell, you have your documents there?
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. No. I'm seeing it. Actually, I'm seeing it on one screen. And it seems to be coming in and out. I have no idea why that's doing it. That could be part of the problem I'm having with my computer today. But Attorney Jairus, you also have the hard copies of Ms. Campbell's exhibits?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm just not going to be able to look at them, but that's no problem with that. So the way that I want to do that is I'd like to begin with that this morning. It's and I note that Respondents Exhibit R7 actually dealt with pages 60 and 61 on cross-examination. However, that was cross-examination. So what I want to do is just go back briefly to Ms. Campbell's direct investigation so that she can discuss these. Ms. Campbell, you've already discussed pages 60 and 61 during cross-examination. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay. But I want you to be able to add anything to that. Direct examination means that you're in control of that. It is your part of putting on your case. So we'll just open up briefly with that. Then it's also pages 62 to 63 and 64 were part of that Exhibit 1C, the 3-month performance review. And Attorney Jerish, you had indicated you'd completed your cross-examination based on documents and testimony, but that you would have some impeachment cross-examination this morning. Is that correct?
I did say that yesterday. I do have a clarifying question about page 1R1 that I'd like to ask, and then I have one impeachment exhibit.
Okay, so we will then, after Ms. Campbell's direct testimony, we'll move to your completion of your cross-examination of her. And you will also have an opportunity to cross-examine her on her testimony relating to the 3 documents. So basically, we're just kind of putting this in a bit belatedly. And then as far as the tracking sheet, Exhibit 114, I made that page 241, and I put it on the exhibit list, I think, as Exhibit 114. And I know that you introduced it. Ms. Campbell, do you have any objection, Attorney Jerish, to its introduction?
The tracker? No.
Yeah, no. Okay, so I am going to admit that. All right. Ms. Campbell, any questions before we get started?
No.
Attorney Jerish?
No.
And I'm not seeing Attorney Abdo, but I guess that's because I'm only seeing 4 people. So I guess
Yeah, I can.
Attorney Abdo, if you were to speak, can you speak?
Yes, I'm still here and I have no questions. Thank you.
Oh,
And
good.
I
There
can.
you are. There you are.
Oh, wait.
Attorney,
She may just. I can see her, but
ah,
sometimes it rotates us around depending on who's speaking.
I'm going to have to, this is one thing I'm going to have to ask IT because I have, throughout this, I've only been able to see 4 people. And I know that I should be able to see more than that, although for purposes of what I need to do, it is sufficient, but I do like to see everybody. All right, Ms. Campbell, I'm going to swear you in, and I actually can't see you now, so if you could speak.
I'm here, yes.
There
I
you
have
are.
my right
Thank
hand
you.
up.
All right, do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Okay, so you have those 3, you have your exhibit 1C, 3 documents in front of you. With regard to, maybe we'll take them in order, pages 60 to 61, you did provide cross-examination testimony on those yesterday. Is there anything else that you'd like to say with regard to these 2 pages?
I like to say in regards to where on 62 it says refuse to sign and it's dated 7/25/18.
Is that page? I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me. Is that page? Is that part of the 62 to 63 document, or actually, I have it listed as a 2-page, and then a 2-page, and then a 1-page. Is that the way you
Right.
see it?
Yes, there's 2 pages that I was cross-examined on yesterday that we
Right.
spoke about this yesterday. And I'm speaking on that first one, the second page of that on it where it says refuse to sign.
So that's page 6. Okay, that's page 61 then, is that correct?
Yes,
You
yeah.
said it was 62. So I just want to, Attorney Jairus, do you have any clarification? Because I cannot see these documents right now.
I'm seeing it on page 61.
That's what I thought. Ms. Campbell, it's at page 61, not 62, correct? The
Yes, I
refused to
misspoke.
sign. Okay,
Yes.
all right. Just so we're on the same page. Go ahead, ma'am.
On that one page, during that meeting, I explained that I wasn't, that I would provide, I would I would give Marie a response in writing to it because I did not, agree with this and what have you. So,
Okay, all right. Anything else with regard to pages 60, 61?
no.
Okay, how about pages 62 to 63? What is that?
Though that is my response. And 63 is the email with the attachment of the response.
Okay,
That is my response to the 3-month review.
okay. Anything you want to say about that? 62 to 63?
No.
Okay, 64. What is 64?
64 is a correspondence that I received from Human Resources in regards to advising me again to go and speak with the Employee Assistance Office.
All right.
And that was because during that time I had requested numerous times for assistance in what I would need to do to get assistance in stopping and helping me and getting support for what was happening in regards to the intimidation and the harassment. And so they referred me to the Employee Assistance.
And is that what page 64 is, that referral?
Yes.
All right. Anything else you want to say about these three documents?
No.
All right. Attorney Jairus, do you have some cross-examination questions for Ms. Campbell on just this Exhibit 1C?
Yes, on page 62, Ms. Campbell's response to her performance review.
Okay.
I'm reading it really quickly. Okay. For item 1, it says in attempting to achieve completing UW SMPH expense reports via e-reimbursement, I've been using my edited submissions as training examples. Is that, I interpret that to mean Ms. Rutan was editing your work product and giving it back to you and you using it as training materials. Is that correct?
Yes, for the e-reimbursement.
Okay. And then the second sentence, however, for the past 3 weeks, all submissions have been proofread, whereas I have not been able to gain a good training example for completing UW SMPH expense reports via e-reimbursement system. I don't quite understand that sentence. Could you please explain what you were expressing there?
That I'm using the tools that I had in submission, that those tools that I have, Marie would say is not the examples I would use. I'm saying these are the only examples I have for training tools. So if I've submitted it, then it should be a training tool for me. But Marie was saying, no, that's not a training tool. So I was
Okay.
trying to gain what I need for samples in training myself.
Okay, thank you. And then item 6 says, I will focus on coding and proofreading with FedEx processing and tracking and continue to strive on improving timeliness. I believe yesterday you testified that you disagreed with Ms. Rutan's comments that there was concerns about your timeliness, which is item 6 on page 160. If you thought you were timely, why would you respond to a performance review by saying you'd try and improve your timeliness?
In improving it, as I spoke yesterday regarding this, when I receive a FedEx in, I would process that FedEx, and processing it requires me to send an email to someone else who's going to provide me approval for it. So in regards to timeliness, I'm going to improve in it. However, this is circumstance beyond my control because I'm waiting for someone else who has to give me authorization and approval for the FedEx, and making sure that I'm doing my part is responding to that FedEx within that 48-hour period of time. So I get the FedEx in, and I would always submit it in to the faculty staff that would provide me with approval. That's all I'm saying, is confirming that this is something I'm already doing. I'll improve it in regards to the part on my behalf. Sometimes I would send an email, and sometimes I would have to send a second notification to the faculty or the staff to get a response. Sometimes that faculty or staff is out of office. So those were circumstances beyond my control in regards to timeliness.
Thank you. And then item 4 on page 62, sort of halfway through that item, it says,
My sweetie. Yeah.
I have been advised I would need to show my critical thinking skills without guessing at any verbiage, but critique each document again. All that I have submitted has been edited and proofread. So, critique each document again. My understanding is that means you need to critique the documents that are given to you by the faculty or staff member as part of their packet for you to do the e-reimbursement. Is that what you're expressing there?
Yes, in regards to verbiage. In preparing the e-reimbursement, that I'm critiquing all of the information to ensure that we have everything that we need to process the e-reimbursement.
And it sounds like Ms. Rutan had expressed to you that she was wanting you to show your critical thinking skills in doing that exercise. Is that correct? That she's told that to you?
In regards to Ms. Rutan constantly telling me that I don't think like, you don't think like us, you don't think like we do. I wasn't sure what exactly that meant in regards to my work. I just knew that was a daily statement that she would make to me. And it would be, it was more in regards to the, I've told you this, you don't remember what I told you, those kind of things. So I'm not sure what her thoughts were in regards to that. I do know, I believe that I had and needed assistance in regards to the verbiage regarding the e-reimbursement per Ms. Rudin.
But at least at the time you wrote this document, you and you used the language critical thinking skills. So at that point, you must have thought that that's at least part of what Ms. Rudin was trying to express when she said, "You don't think like us." Is that correct?
And no, it was critical thinking in regards to verbiage.
All right. That's all I have on this document.
When you talk about document, are you talking about exhibit, Attorney Jaris?
Yes.
Okay,
All the
so
pages we just went over.
no questions then about page 64.
I don't think so. I think that was just the EAO thing. Let me double check.
All right. Anything further? Okay, so that completes your cross-examination on that part. Then Attorney Jaris, I think we'll go to. You said you had maybe some impeachment or some a very brief additional cross-examination this morning. You can begin that.
Yeah, I wanted to turn to the first page of Exhibit R1, which is Bates numbered page 2.
You know, I think what I'm thinking that what has happened to this, I have all of the exhibit things set up, but I think what has happened is when I disconnected, I can't access those exhibits, although I can see you all very fine. So what I'm thinking I may need to do is reboot my computer. And I don't see that I can do that while we are still all on. So what I'd like to do is just take a short break here. It's a little before 9. You know, hopefully I will be back. I may have to. I don't know if I'll have to evite you all. We'll have to see what happens with that. Evite you again. But I need to be looking at these documents, and there should be no difficulty. I had no difficulty yesterday, so I'm thinking that disconnection is what is the problem.
Okay.
So I'm going to let's see. I'm going to. Yeah, I'm also not getting another page here as far as going out. Oh, here we go. All right, so I'm going to leave the meeting, and then we'll, if you will try to come. I wonder if I stop it. Oh, I'm trying to see how I can do this without too much trouble for everybody, but I think that basically it's a matter maybe of, unless anyone has suggestions for me, knows more about this process than I do.
I don't think we'll need a new invitation. We can just click on the same one we have.
And
We'll just need to know when you want us to try again. So if you.
But do I need to end or leave the meeting is what I'm thinking. I can do that, but then I can still come back in. Looks like Ms. Pinch, have you done this before?
Well, yeah, and it's worked. Oh, and it's worked okay for me. But yeah, I think you can just end this meeting, reboot,
Okay.
and then start it again. And you might try. Well, I can't do it now when you're not showing the screen, but you might be able to toggle your view in order to see everyone. There's a couple of view
Actually,
options.
I see everyone right now. I think that
I mean,
have.
when you have the documents up.
Oh, and I have the documents up. Okay, well, I am open to your suggestions when we get to that point. Thank you very much. Okay,
Sure.
I'm going to leave the meeting now, and we will resume momentarily. Thanks, everyone. All right, we are back on the record after a brief pause there while I tried to get my computer back in operation. It looked like I had lost some connection earlier, and although I was able to see everyone and hear everyone, I could not get documents. I do believe I have the documents here now that I can share, and we can resume where we left off. And I remind you, you're still under oath, Ms. Campbell, and Attorney Jairus is wanting to cross-examine. And let me see which exhibit is, I've got your exhibits up. Attorney Jairus, which one are you looking for?
Exhibit R1, which is Bates
Oh,
page
it's the
number
first
2.
exhibit. Right, okay. I've got that up. Now let me see if I can get that shared with you all. So do you see that? Respondent Exhibit 1?
Yes, and scroll down, that's the cover page.
Right. I just want to make sure, because I've kind of lost some stuff on my laptop screen here. I don't see everyone anymore as I'm sharing. So you are able to see, Ms. Campbell, you can see this document. I can't tell if you can see it or not unless you tell me.
Yes. Mhm.
Yes. Okay, good. So we have R1 on the screen, and actually, Ms. Pinch, I think you indicated before we get into questioning on this that there's a way that I can be able to see everybody at the same time I'm sharing. Can
Well,
you
yes.
tell me?
So at least this is how it's working on my computer. We know
Okay.
technology's a little finicky. So on the top right, there's kind of a button that, well, depending upon, I don't know what view you're on, so it's hard to say. If you hover over that, there's maybe 3 options
Yep,
that come up.
I'm on grid view now. The other is show active speaker and thumbnail, and
Do
then
you have
show active speaker
videos?
video.
Do you know
Show act
video strip? Do you have a video strip view?
show active speaker video. That's just you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only one I have.
Huh.
Because you're speaking. I have the active speaker and oh, wait a minute, active speaker and thumbnail video view, but that's again just you, 2 pictures of you and then me, and then I've
Hmm.
got the grid, which
You,
really I'm just seeing you and me. I'm not seeing Ms. Campbell, although this may be a connection issue that I'm having.
okay. Or maybe sometimes it doesn't allow full functionality when you're sharing, or at least I've noticed that when I've
Is
conducted
that
meetings.
right?
So maybe you don't get the video strip option from that. Okay. That's my only trick.
Yeah, no, we'll I want to be able to see the speaker and the person who's testifying. Those are the main things. So I certainly want to be able to see Ms. Campbell and Attorney Jairus. I think I'm just going to send right at this point a message to our IT person. Um, yeah, this would be, I said it was the first WebEx, so you'd be part of the learning process, all of you. I really would like to know at the very beginning of this hearing. Well, it says she's currently in a call, so I would like to know. Ms. Campbell, could you speak up and I'll see if I can see you when you speak?
Hi there, I'm here.
Okay, there you are.
Yes.
All right. Well, I've just sent her the message. It seems that when you speak, that does allow me to see you. So maybe at this point, Ms. Pinch, I'm assuming that you can see everything and you can communicate. It looks like you're muted right now, and I know Attorney Abdo is just watching. So what I would like is to have a bigger picture of everybody, but it's possible as you talk about full functionality with the sharing, maybe that's not possible.
So there
Um,
is, I
but
was just looking while you were emailing. If you hover over everyone's picture, or at least in my view, there's kind of 3 dots that come up. And if
yeah,
you click
video.
that,
Yeah.
there's an option to, you know, pin the picture. So I'm wondering if
Lock,
everyone takes a turn talking, so they pop up and then you can pin everyone that they might stay.
oh, lock this video on a participant. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Oh, and then, well, it says which participant do you want to lock the video on?
Oh, it's only one.
And then, yeah, search for a name. Looks like it is only
Okay.
one.
I was hoping it was
Thank you.
everyone.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you for the suggestion. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
can, I can at least, I'm seeing Miss Campbell now. I am not seeing Attorney Jarris, and probably that may be because she hasn't spoken.
I'm
But
here.
let's resume. Yeah, I don't see you.
It didn't pop up.
Oh, it's just taking some time. Yeah, it's actually only showing it's showing you now and not Miss Campbell. It's actually not showing. I'm only seeing 2 people, so I'm seeing myself. I don't need to see myself. And then I'm seeing you, Attorney Jarris, but Miss Campbell has disappeared. So, well, let's see what we can do. We'll see what we can do with this. It would be great if I could expand. Yeah, if I could expand that, but I don't see that. So,
And something
all
you're
right.
something you're
What's
doing
that?
is causing a gray box. There you go. Never mind. Part of the exhibit was blocked out, but we can see it. I can see it now.
Okay, well, let's go back to that then. Miss Campbell, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Good. Okay, and hopefully after you've spoken, maybe you will come up. Do you have your
Yes.
video on, Miss Campbell?
Yes, I have the video on. I
And
can
Attorney
see all
Chair?
5 of them.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I can see
Okay.
all 5.
Great, great. Well, now I can see you and Attorney Jairus, although Attorney Jairus is buffering. And I've lost her now. But actually, the most important thing is to have is for me to be able to see the person who's providing sworn testimony. So, and I do remind you, Ms. Campbell, you remain under oath. So, Attorney Jairus, you have some questions for Ms. Campbell at this point,
Yes.
and it's on R1. Go ahead.
R1 Bates page 2. Ms. Campbell, did you read this document before you signed it?
Yes.
And then right above your signature, there's a sentence that says, I have read and understand that the statements and time estimates above on the attachments are a description of the functions of my position. Did you, at the time you read this, ask to see the attachments?
Yes.
And when you asked that, did anyone give them to you?
Yes.
And were the attachments the page of this position description, page 2, 3, and 4?
That would be 3, 4, and 5, correct?
Correct.
All right.
These were not those pages that I got then. No.
What attachments were you given?
Attachments that I was given had the job description, and the job description didn't have percentage goals and work activity. This was, I believe it was the one that in complaint 66.
I didn't
From
quite
Campbell.
hear.
Yeah.
If you
It's
give me
sure. Take your time.
the job description that I received was slightly different. If you could give me a moment, the format of it was different. Hold on one moment. And the job description that I received back then was the same one that I received on October the 8th from Campbell.
Okay. And I think we have testimony about that.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So it did say, I have read and understand the statements and the time estimates. When you got that other position description that didn't have time estimates, did you follow up and ask about time estimates?
It didn't have percentages on it. Doesn't have
I guess
percentage of the work in regards to required.
I understand that. I'm trying to ask, at this time when you signed this document, did you ask whether or not there were time estimates for various tasks?
No, I did not ask because the job description that I received at that time, I understood. And
Okay.
I didn't have questions in regards to that.
Okay, thank you. And then I have an impeachment exhibit. Should I just email that?
Well, I want to hear a little more about what is this impeachment exhibit. If you can offer me some proof on what this is.
Yes, it's a packet of work product that shows Ms. Bruton making corrections to Ms. Campbell's work of the type she said she disagreed that she didn't make, involving let me see. Let me pull it up.
It looks like maybe excuse me just a minute. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it looks like the IT person is trying to reach me maybe. Let me see. Oh, she's finished. Are you still having issues? Attorney Jairus, would you mind if I just see if she can come in and help a little bit with this? Can you hold your thought and
Yes.
go on to that? Yes, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just telling her that I'm still having these issues. I'd like her just to, she can remote into my machine. Hopefully she will be willing to do that and can help out with the view that I have of all of you. I think she may be trying to do something now. Yes, she is. She's in the machine, so let's see if she can. Based on what I'm seeing, either their video isn't started or the video isn't being displayed because of connection issues. Yeah, she showed me how I can get the window bigger by getting the double-headed arrow on the corner. There isn't anything I can do about the video, the 3 gray boxes though, and I'll say, okay, I'll just say, okay. And thanks, she did her best, I guess. And so what she said is, and this may be connection problems with either their video isn't started or the video isn't being displayed because of connection issues. And that right now, I can see myself, unnecessary, but I can, and Ms. Campbell, I cannot see you, Attorney Jarris, and there actually is, oh, now I see Attorney Abdo. You know what that just said?
I
It said something
think
about,
I think
go ahead.
Attorney Abdo may have briefly shut off her video. Is that?
You know, Attorney Abdo, I think I'm gonna ask if you could leave the meeting and see. It looks like I got this message about bandwidth. Can you hear me okay, Attorney Abdo? You can just nod. Yes.
Yes.
We're having bandwidth issues, and there's a little there's an orange triangle up at the top left of Ms. Jarris and Ms. Pinch. Due to low bandwidth or local computer conditions such as CPU or RAM use, video is not currently available. Video will resume automatically when conditions improve. Now, what I have done is I've actually put my cell phone on airplane mode, and we're not using any equipment in my house. So it's just me and my husband, so it's not hard to do. But it's possible that if Attorney Abdo leaves, that may free up some bandwidth. I don't know if that will work, but I appreciate your presence, Attorney Abdo, but I think we need to give that a chance. So if you'll just leave the meeting, please. Thank you.
And she's physically in the same room. Would you want her to leave the physical room as well?
Oh, I don't know that. No, I don't think that's necessary. No, for
Okay.
the moment. Oh, I was hopeful because those yellow triangles disappeared on Attorney Jarris and Ms. Pinch, but they've returned. And so it's low bandwidth or local connection issues. So that's where we are, and certainly Attorney Abdo is welcome to remain there.
I can also
But I
try
think
one of, oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say I can also try one of our other internet options and see if that's
oh, good.
better.
Yeah, it is. It is you, Attorney Jarris, and Miss Pinch, who I cannot see now. And that isn't devastating for our continuation of the hearing because it's the person who's testifying who I want to see, and at the moment it's Miss Campbell. At some point, though, I will need to see Miss Pinch when she begins testifying.
And I can actually see everybody.
Well, then it could be, I've had these issues with my computer. I didn't have them yesterday. I don't understand why now, but it could be my computer that's causing the problems. So are you trying some other options, Attorney Jarris?
I don't have
Oh,
any others, and I'm not having any problems seeing or.
okay. Well, it seems like that's not, that won't do anything. Let's move on then. If there's nothing that you can do, and Ms. Pinch, it sounds like you may be the most knowledgeable about all of us. If you have some ideas, I'm open to them. But okay, we finished with Exhibit R1. Now, Attorney Jarris, you were talking about, I know one other thing I can do. I'm just going to turn off my, my internet. See if that helped, though I'm not getting any internet now. See if that opens up any bandwidth, but so far not. But go ahead, Attorney Jarris, you were describing what a new exhibit that you want to present by way of impeachment. And it's a packet of work product showing Marie Rutan making corrections to Ms. Campbell's work. Is that correct?
Correct. Showing some errors in calculations and numbers provided, which I believe Ms. Campbell said she did not make. It also has the from the time period where she testified she didn't receive these narrative descriptions from Ms. Rutan. It shows the narrative from Ms. Rutan matching up to the handwritten corrections on the work product document. And then it also has the material attached that I believe was whatever the faculty or staff member provided to Ms. Campbell for purposes of filling out the e-reimbursement and cover page.
Okay, well, the question that I have about that is I think there were a bunch of those earlier that you said you were not able to authenticate. There was an objection, and you acknowledged that you weren't able to authenticate them. So how is this packet that you're offering different from that?
So it includes it includes both the narrative description from Ms. Rutan and all of the underlying documents. It's a full packet. And I believe Ms. Campbell will be able to authenticate everything but the cover page. And I think it will also impeach her assertion that she wasn't receiving these narratives from Ms.
Well, that would
Rutan.
be, yes, that would be significant. So how do you propose to provide that document?
So I have it as a PDF that I can email to both of you right now.
All right, Ms. Campbell, do you understand what Attorney Jairus is proposing to do, and the fact that she believes that it can be authenticated, so it's somewhat different from, you know, some of those documents yesterday that she was not able to authenticate?
Yes, I understand. I object to it. And
Well,
why
okay. Well, let's look. I just wanted to make sure you understood, because it may be that your objection will be well founded. I certainly understand that. I agreed with it yesterday. However, Attorney Jairus indicates this is somewhat different. So why don't you do that? I'll have to turn my email back on to be able to get that. And you'll send that also, the packet, to Ms. Campbell, Attorney Jairus, please.
Yes, I'm doing that right now. People could just let me know when they receive it.
It hasn't come yet.